Hi friends, Gerard Scarpacey here, craft hairdresser and co-founder of the Hairbrain community. We're coming to you live today from New York City. We're at the Moroccan Oil Academy, brand new facility here, beautiful. We're in their special content room. Outside here, there's a wonderful education space. Our special guest today is Kelly Fahey. Kelly's a member of the Moroccan Oil creative team, artistic team, doing classes here regularly. This is our beautiful model, Robin. Say hi, Robin.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Kelly's going to share with you some of the proprietary techniques that they teach here at the Moroccan Oil Academy, where they focus on cutting, styling. They also have business classes. We're going to dive right in here. Now, as always, guys, I'm looking for your questions, looking for your shout outs and love, looking to say hello to some of my friends. Well, let's get into Kelly's lesson because I know she's got a lot to share today.
Thank you so much. So Robin here came in and she had hair that she didn't want to really cut, but it was a little bit needed extra care because it had been colored and it was a little split on the ends and she didn't want to lose so much. So I'm basically working at trying to make her hair look stronger and remembering that it's not always what you take off, it's what you keep on. So I'm going off her natural texture and I'm letting her hair just speak to me. You know, I'm taking her front section and I kind of just let the hair split and see where it wanted to kind of move and bunch together. And I'm focusing on keeping the length pretty much where it is, but taking some of that weight out behind, coming in a forward motion with my shears opening and closing. So I'm taking that weight out from behind and coming to a strength point in the front. So a lot of times we go in and we just cut the length and then we go in and texturize and take more weight out. It's kind of like painting or playing with each piece and just having fun with it, you know, not going with a structured technique every single time or, you know, bringing everything up to a certain elevation. I'm letting the hair lay where it would fall naturally, seeing where it wants to open, seeing where the wave wants to pop up.
So I love this kind of natural fall cutting. Do you find that that is something that would be easier for Robin to care for, just because you're kind of cutting it right where it lives?
Yeah, so during my consultation, I was talking to Robin about how she does her hair naturally and every day, and she doesn't do anything. She doesn't take a dryer to it. She washes, goes, puts some product in it. And
my favorite kind of client.
Right?
It's all about the haircut, right?
It is. You know, you should do this haircut where they can go home, they can do it themselves, and it still looks great. You should do a haircut where in 3 months, you know, it might be time for a haircut, but it still evolves into a different shape because you're actually focusing on listening to the hair and where it's laying and, you know, where that weight needs to be removed or where that strength needs to stay so that...
So that first section for this kind of face frame, any tips on how thick it should be? Is it different for different hair types? How do you section that off?
Based on the density of the hair, if their hair is thicker, I'm going to use smaller sections because I really want to make sure I get in and pay attention to those details. If their hair is thinner, it's going to just kind of depend on how thin it is. Sometimes when you have a thinner section, when you have thinner hair, you need that bigger section for support.
And in terms of the length that Robin wants to keep, you brought up a good point that she doesn't want to lose a lot of length. Sound familiar, guys, in the salon? This is what we deal with every day. I want to look fabulous, I want to make over, but don't cut too much length off. But question being, as you're doing this kind of free-form face framing, what do you have to keep in mind about the length?
Yeah, so I'm going from a shorter point to a longer point. She said she's okay with some kind of face framing. I'm also focusing on different parts of her face. So I'm paying attention to each side, all on its own. And if you look at Robin, she's got amazing features, very strong cheekbones, really pretty lips. So having something in those areas are going to really bring attention to what we want to focus on.
So literally each one of these locks, as you drop it down, you deliberately cut each one a little bit longer?
A little bit longer, yep. If I have somebody with a lot more texture, a lot more density to the hair, you can switch it up. You just need some kind of balance where it's going to connect in some way with the eye.
But you could also get really creative by making a completely disconnect from the back and get into kind of like the mullet trend using the same technique?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys, if you're enjoying this, and I know that you are, share your questions with us. Let us know where you're watching from. We're in New York City. We're on the 12th floor of a building right on 57th Street. It's the brand new Moroccan Oil Academy. Fantastic space here. We're going to be hosting an event here in April. We're going to have a live educational event, so look for details. We're going to be inviting some of you to come join us. Brand new facility, room for big classes, a beautiful stage. Kelly's been here. Has it been for a couple days, or is it just a one-day class? She's been teaching a class. The group was just finishing up as we came in, so no rest for the weary. Tell us about the class you're teaching.
So right now we're teaching a 2-day cutting class, and it is based on 6 different techniques. And there's also a 1-day cutting class. There's a 3-day mastery cutting class. And it really doesn't really matter your skill level. It's just based upon, keeping your eye open and really focusing on all the things in your own toolbox that you need to fine tune, and opening up your eye to kind of be an expert at everything you're trying to fine tune. We have a lot of classes on cutting. We have classes on styling. I actually just had the opportunity to take one of our classes called Behind the Lens, where I got to do a photo shoot and work behind the scenes at Fashion Week, which is incredible.
It just happened, huh?
It
Fashion
just
Week
happened.
was,
Yeah.
so you guys were working on some shows?
We were working on some shows, and we have our lead stylist, Kevin Hughes, and so he comes and teaches us what we're going to be doing and guides us through the whole thing, and then we go and get right to it. So it's a lot of what people have to kind of get through working hard and making their way to the top. You get to kind of just take a class and see what the whole thing is about.
Fantastic, great to hear. It's I don't think there are enough great academies anymore. I mean, obviously we're big believers in online training, but online training to me is just a doorway to taking a live class. I don't think online training should ever replace it. It's kind of the appetizer where the main course is coming and taking the class. So watching someone like Kelly, learning from her here, it's going to be the next level experience. Actually come and take the class, have her help you, coach you, talk about what you're doing. So never forget that video, online learning is just the beginning, taking those live classes. So let's get back into the haircut now. So you drop down your bang or your fringe. What was the concept there?
Yeah, I dropped down the fringe, and it's not coming off to the side. There's too much weight in these corners here. So again, I'm coming from behind and I'm removing that weight in the corner so that I can get it to lay.
So would you say it's kind of like a V shape?
Kind of,
Yeah.
but I'm paying attention to each side a little bit differently.
So slightly asymmetric based on the way you want to push it?
Exactly.
What is it, like kind of like a check mark then, more so than a V or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So one side's steeper.
One side's a
one
little
is-
steeper than the other. The side that has more hair is usually a little bit more steeper, but we'll see with the way.
So that's kind of a priceless technique because, the whole idea of a side bang or whatever, however a client would explain it, there's a lot of ways to do that. But I agree with you. This is a fantastic way of doing it that's very, very natural and easy for the client to maintain.
I feel like sometimes we get so much into technique and how to do everything from the beginning, and just kind of seeing what's there and what we already have and what we're keeping on the head, and just seeing how it's actually living when we're not getting into it too much, we're not wetting it too much, we're just seeing the shape that's already there naturally.
It's truly kind of a sculpt thing, just keeping the
It
good
is.
stuff and kind of whittling down the stuff that isn't working.
We're all artists, so to get back to that creative side where we can just go in and pay attention and play within each section.
Awesome.
And it
So
brings us back.
moving into the back now, into the length,
Yeah.
talk to us a little bit about the theory here.
So I want to keep it strong. I want to keep it, I want to get texture, but I don't want to layer it. She doesn't want layers. So basically what I want to do is texturize it. I need to take a little bit off the bottom because she does want to grow it long. But I don't need to take off like 5 inches. So I'm just going to see what needs to come off. And again, going to look at that wave pattern, and I'm going to go a scissors down technique where I'm just taking some of that weight out and bringing it to a certain length. If you stand in front of the section so you're not over directing anything and you're just letting it fall where it needs to fall, visually I can see where that length is previously. I'm going to hold my section lower than where I have to go, and I'm just going to put my scissors in a downward motion towards that length. It's one of those things where if you hold it to the length that you're trying to go to, you're going to end up having to slide your finger down because you don't have anywhere to go.
So what would you say, keep like an inch or so below where you want the length to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great technique to train your eye. and not just use your fingers as a crutch or your fingers as a destination or a length. Instead, you're using your eye to develop where that needs to go.
You know, interestingly to me, I feel like hair cutting in a way right now is kind of maybe catching up to color, where color is all about balayage and painting and free form. I think we're definitely starting to see some of that energy happening in hair cutting. And to me, this is, for lack of a better word, like a balayage or a hair painting of hair cutting.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you though, how important do you think it is for hairdressers to still understand geometric precision cutting, lines, shape, angles? Do you think someone should just jump in to cutting in this method, or should they have that first?
I think you need to know the rules before you break them. I think you need to understand why you're doing something to create anything. You know, if I know why I'm holding my scissors down and that texture I'm creating is going to create a little bit of weight removal but keep that strength at the bottom, I can do that anywhere. I can do an interior layer through this and go from the inside out and create that opening and that space for wavier or curlier hair to kind of get that dimension. So it's just knowing the technique, and I find a basic technique of just cutting a line helps you so much with your body positioning, helps you so much with, you know, where and how you're building the hair.
So still important to learn the basics and then break the rules or go beyond them. I want to give some shout outs. Alberto Gucciardi is watching. He's on his way back to Italy after a week here in New York City.
Ciao.
Dennis DeTori is watching. Great to have you here always, Dennis. Reina DeMoss, Pascalan Gianello. So all the precision haircutters are here. My friend Kevin Martin is watching. Great to have you here, Kevin. Christine James is watching from Saskatchewan. I know how to pronounce that one. I've been there. Rebecca Ziba is watching. I believe she's in the north of England. Great to have you here.
Wow.
All right, guys, if you've got questions for Kelly, this is Kelly Fahey. She is here teaching class and doing it quite regularly here in New York City at the brand new Moroccan Oil Academy. If you're interested in learning more, check out MoroccanOilProfessionals.com. It's got more information about the academy, all the upcoming courses, and important to know that these courses are open to anyone, which just confirms for me. So I think that's a great thing. A brand that's done quite well selling product, which is a wonderful thing, is to me in a way giving back by creating an academy that anyone can attend. So that's something to think about. Of course, you guys should be not only learning online, but learning in person. Now I mentioned earlier that Hairbrain's going to be doing a special event here at the Moroccan Oil Academy. It's April 27th, and yes, we will be inviting a handful of you guys. So watch us on Instagram at hairbrain_official, and right here on Facebook, on our Facebook page. Make sure you're following us, and we're going to put out the information. It's a very small group, probably about 50 people will be able to attend. So as soon as we put that out there, you're going to want to RSVP. All right, so tell us how the haircut's developing, Kelly.
So it's good. We're getting some strength in here. We're definitely keeping the length for Robin. Those were two of her specifics when we had our consultation. Paying attention now to this front area a little bit more. This was how Robin woke up this morning. This was her texture. So again, I'm playing off what's happening naturally. I think I want to go a little bit shorter with this fringe.
Are there times where, you know, you say, well, I definitely need to shampoo this hair before I cut it dry? And, you know,
Yes.
Is it just based on, you know, the condition that it came in, or how do you make that decision?
Yes, I mean, we definitely have had times where we probably don't want to touch the hair unless we do shampoo it.
Right.
Robin came in with clean hair. It's healthy. We really want to make sure that her hair is going to look a certain way when she does it herself. So I was fine getting my hands in there.
And
sometimes I'll even wash the hair, dry it, let it dry naturally, and then go into the texture.
What do you think about dry cutting, like where the hair is flat ironed and then cut in that state? Do you prefer to dry it like natural to see what it is, or would you sometimes flat iron it and use a technique like this?
If it's somebody that has curlier hair and they wear their hair curly, but they also flat iron their hair, I want to make sure it's going to look good.
So you want to cut it the way they're going to wear it the majority of the time?
I want to cut it so that they can wear it straight, they can wear it curly, they can wear it however they want to wear it. They can have some versatility through it, and it's still going to look good.
I want to give some shout outs. Some of our good friends tuning in. Kate Daffin is here. Great to have you here. Rick Bennett, how you doing, Rick? How's Oklahoma? How are all the students doing? Michaela Olmstead is here. Great to have you here. It was great to see you in Long Beach. Hopefully we'll see you again. We've got our Hairbrain Video Awards coming up in March 8th. It's the same weekend as the New York Beauty Show. I think it's now called the B Show. It used to be called the IDS Show, but it's BE now. So it's a big weekend here in New York. Sunday, March 8th, we've got the Hairbrain Video Awards, which is really a party. It's about 20% awards. We give out all the awards in about 20 minutes, and then we party all night. So if you're in New York, or if you're coming for the show, check out the Hairbrain Video Awards. Tickets are available at hairbrain.pro. Okay, so why did you choose to rework the fringe a little bit?
So I think it's important in your consultation to figure out what you're doing, but also be able to change that if you see the hair not reacting the way you want it to. So I felt like it was just laying not right, and I wanted to see a little bit more texture and see it jump a little. So basically I took a fringe section and I just had the hair, and I saw which hair wants to fall forward, which hair wants to go off to the side. Again, listen to the hair, don't try and push more into it or not do enough. And I'm just gonna texturize a little bit in the middle, and then I'm gonna over direct these side pieces towards the middle, again using that same technique with the scissor down, which is adding strength but removing weight.
So talk to me a little bit about the terminology that you guys work with here at Moroccan.
See how much that just laid so much better by removing that weight? We just basically want everybody to understand what they're doing. And everybody's got these tools in this little toolbox, and everybody's way is right. And there's no wrong way, there's no right way.
If it looks good, it's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's laying the way you want it to lay, it's right. So it's all about just, education shows confidence. And when you take these classes and you see what's going on, it just builds your own confidence, which is really what you need to do. You need to trust yourself, and you need to just understand what you're doing.
So if someone was to come and take a class here at the Moroccan Oil Academy, what would they expect? So are they 2-day classes, 1-day classes? Are they all hands-on? Do they watch demonstrations? Give me an idea of the typical experience for a student.
So we do demonstrations. We cut the demonstrations by section. So you see a section, you do a section, see a section, do a section. We do some classes where we do mood boards, and you come up with some inspiration yourself, and then we guide you to kind of get with where you want to get. We have 1-day cutting classes, which is more of a fundamental class. And then there's 2 days, there's 3 days where we've incorporated some razor techniques and more texturizing techniques. We show all different types of tools, all different irons, flat irons.
Does someone have to go through a series, or if they say, hey, I want to go to this one, is it free for them to choose? We've mentioned that anyone can attend the academy.
Anybody.
It's open to any hairdresser.
Yeah.
Can they choose any class that they think is right for them, or do they have to go through the basics to get to the advanced?
You can choose any class that you want to. I would say that if you're somebody that is newer to the field, that you might want to take one of the 2-day cutting class shows everything, which is amazing. But you'll be sitting next to somebody that's been doing hair for 40 years and get some experience through them too. You can be doing hair for less amount of time and you have less habits to break. It's just about being open. So I think it's about the time you have. If you only have a day to do it, do it. It's about being present and just doing stuff for you, taking that time to learn and grow.
All right, let's talk about you. Perfect. I see you're about to add some products. So are you still working in the salon, or do you full-time educator? And how did you get affiliated with Moroccan Oil? And tell us what you're putting in the hair.
Yeah. So I'm just a full-time educator. I do some freelance. I do not work in a salon anymore with all of the time that I spend here. I came here about 8 years ago, and I started with the products. My clients loved it, and so I came and wanted to learn about it. And it's just been a company that's pushed me to grow, and it's just taught me.
So you must be really excited about the new academy.
I'm thrilled.
Like
about
your new home?
It's amazing, guys. You can fit so much more people in here. It's just windows everywhere. You can see outside. You're not, just inside a building. You see what's going on.
Okay, so it looks like you added 2 things. I'm just going to hold them up to the camera. What's this first one, and why did you use it?
So I used the Moroccan Oil Treatment Light. So basically it's antioxidants in the hair. It's making the hair beautiful from the inside out, keeping the integrity, making the hair more manageable, adding lots of shine. That is like our primer. I put that on if the hair's wet. I put it on when it's dry. it's just adding those vitamins. Like you take your vitamins every day, you take your Moroccan oil treatment every day.
Your hair got some vitamins, Robin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I believe you added this. Was it
mixed
cocktailed
it.
together?
It was cocktailed in my hand. It was mixed. And basically, I used the hydrating styling cream, which has a soft hold. It's going to smooth the hair a little bit more. Robin has finer hair, so I wanted to use a really light concoction. Could I have used, we have a smoothing line, which is going to help against frizz and the humidity outside. Yes, I don't feel like that's what we're going for right now. I just want to bring out her natural texture. I want her to see how she can do her hair herself. I want to add a little bit more texture through this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our dry texture spray that we go through boxes of because it's that good. And I'm just going to spray it. I'm going to lift the hair slightly and just kind of push the hair where I want it to go. It's just going to add a little bit more hold, a little bit more volume, a little bit more lift-in feel to the hair.
While you're spraying, Kelly, I'm going to answer Sean Hunter Mark's question.
Yeah.
Sean, the Moroccan Oil Academy here is in New York City. It's on 57th Street in Lexington, which is a pretty prime address for anything in the beauty world or fashion world. It's literally the epicenter of it. 57th Street and Lexington Avenue, Moroccan Oil Professional Academy. And again, if you're asking, we will be back here in April 27th. To have a special evening event with Hairbrained and Moroccan Oil where there'll be live demonstrations. We're going to be inviting people to come join us, about 50 people, so it's a very small, intimate group. So watch here on Facebook and on Instagram to RSVP. It'll be an RSVP event, and we'd love for some of you guys to come attend.
And I just want to finish it off with some of our mending infusion. So this is so great, I keep it in my purse. It's basically going to seal or give the look of sealed split ends. So if you have a client that has long hair and they're like, don't touch it, I don't want to cut it, I just want to keep growing it, or maybe you just want to make those ends look really smooth, maybe after a long day at work and you're going out at night and you just want to kind of give it that little moisture that it needs just on the ends.
That's a lovely package as well,
right?
Which is, it means a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It's pretty, it fits in your purse. I just put a little bit on my hands.
Dara Smith loves the texture spray that you used before, and Renee Seept says looking good. Sorry if I murdered your last name, Renee.
So the texture spray is also really good if you have somebody with finer hair and you want to create some kind of updo or braids. It gives it that nice texture without weighing the hair down.
Yeah, really, obviously being here, I can see how the textures come alive here. The wave's been reactivated. There's a nice kind of satin quality to the hair, which is nice.
It's pretty. It's
Looks
making the
great,
hair
says
beautiful
Kim
again.
Proal. A lot of love coming in. A lot of friends were watching along here.
Thank you.
Robin, have you gotten a chance to see yourself in the mirror? I know we've turned you around a few times.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, again, I think what Kelly said in the beginning is so true. It's not about what you cut off, it's about what you leave on.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the kind of craft hairdressers' greatest sayings, because we can all cut a lot of hair off, but that doesn't mean someone's going to look better. And again, if you're the person who's working behind the chair, like most of us are, it really is about what you leave on, and that's what's happened here. So what are you looking for as you finish up?
I'm just looking for balance, and I'm making sure, even though I'm doing a scissors down technique and I'm not, bringing everything to my fingers, I still want the eye. I want it to visibly look good. If she does decide to smooth it, I want it to look like it's, the same on both sides. So I think the lesson here is just keeping an eye and paying attention to the hair, really focusing on what it's doing, what it's saying, and, a little goes a long way. And Robin here can walk out of here with still longer hair, healthy, and manage it on her own.
Come with the cape off?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we're all finished up here. Thank you guys. We'll be back again later this week. And I want to thank Kelly. She's done a fantastic job. Thank you, Robin, for being a fantastic model. Peace out, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.